The earth trembled. Volcanoes erupted, spewing molten fire into the newly formed sky. The planet, still young, was a canvas of raw, untamed beauty. Mountains thrust from the earth's crust pierced the swirling clouds. Rivers of molten lava carved paths through the nascent landscape, cooling slowly into fertile valleys. As the fiery chaos subsided, rains fell, quenching the parched earth. From the steaming soil, life erupted. Giant ferns unfurled, their fronds reaching towards the sky. Strange and wonderful creatures, unlike anything we know today, roamed the primordial forests. Their calls echoed through the stillness, a symphony of the newly born world. This was Earth, newly formed, brimming with potential, a silent symphony of creation waiting for its maestro. In the cool of the evening, a new creation stirred. Formed from the red earth, he was unlike any creature that had come before. Tall and perfectly proportioned, he was the pinnacle of physical perfection. His name was Adam. Adam opened his eyes, and for the first time, a conscious being beheld the beauty of the world. He inhaled deeply, filling his lungs with the sweet, pure air. He was alive, yet alone. Something was missing. A void existed in this paradise, a longing for companionship, for someone to share the wonders of this new world. In the heart of this primordial wilderness lay a garden. Not a garden as we know it, but a place of unimaginable beauty and abundance. This was Eden, a sanctuary untouched by time or decay. Lush trees, heavy with exotic fruits, lined crystal-clear rivers. Flowers in every color imaginable carpeted the ground, their fragrance carried on the warm breeze. The air buzzed with the activity of strange and beautiful insects. At the center of it all stood the tree of life. Its leaves shimmered with an otherworldly light, and its branches held fruit that gleamed like polished gold. This tree, Adam was told, held the secret to eternal life. And then, from Adam's rib, another being emerged. Eve, as perfect in form as Adam, yet different. Her movements were graceful, her eyes sparkled with intelligence and warmth. Together, they were complete. Days passed in a blissful blur. The sun rose and set, painting the sky in a kaleidoscope of colors. Animals, unafraid, came to Adam and Eve, seeking their touch. Lions lay down with lambs, their primal instincts soothed by the tranquility of Eden. The seventh day arrived, a day of rest, the Sabbath. Adam and Eve, filled with gratitude for the wonders they had witnessed, gave thanks for their existence. They had everything they could ever need, a perfect world free from pain and sorrow. Section 5. Dominion over creation. Adam and Eve were given dominion over this paradise. They were tasked with caring for the animals, nurturing the plants, and ensuring the harmony of this perfect ecosystem. They were caretakers, stewards of creation. Theirs was a life of simple pleasures. They swam in the cool waters of the rivers, tasted the sweetness of ripe fruit, and listened to the songs of birds with feathers more vibrant than any rainbow. Their laughter echoed through the garden, a testament to their joy and contentment. But within this paradise, a seed of knowledge was planted, a knowledge that would test their faith and forever alter the course of their existence. Section 6. The Tree of Knowledge. For in the Garden of Eden, alongside the Tree of Life, stood another tree. This tree was not just any tree, it was the tree of knowledge of good and evil, a tree that held within its branches the power to change the course of human history. The tree of knowledge of good and evil. Its presence was both majestic and foreboding, a symbol of the duality of existence. Its fruit, tempting and alluring, held the promise of forbidden knowledge. The fruit glistened in the sunlight, each piece a beacon of the unknown, calling out to the curious and the brave. To eat from this tree, Adam and Eve were warned, was to invite death and suffering into their perfect world. The warning was clear and stern, a boundary set to protect them from the consequences of their own curiosity. The concept of good and evil was foreign to them. In their world, there was no pain, no suffering, only the pure joy of existence and the boundless love of their Creator. They had known only love, joy, and the boundless generosity of their Creator. Their days were filled with laughter and their nights with peace, a perfect harmony that seemed unbreakable. The very idea of disobeying the one who had given them so much was unfathomable. Yet, the tree stood there, a silent witness to their innocence and a test of their will. Yet the knowledge of what lay beyond their paradise, the allure of the unknown, stirred within them. The boundaries of Eden, once a source of comfort, now seemed like a barrier to something greater. The seeds of curiosity planted deep within their hearts began to sprout. Each day, the tree's presence grew more significant, its fruit more tempting, and the promise of knowledge more irresistible. Section 7. The Serpent's Whisper. One day, as Eve walked alone through the garden, a serpent slithered towards her. The garden was a place of unparalleled beauty, filled with vibrant flowers and the sweet scent of blooming plants. Eve often found solace in its serene paths, but today was different. The air seemed to carry a strange tension, an almost imperceptible whisper of something amiss. Its scales shimmered with iridescent colors, and its voice, smooth and beguiling, held a hypnotic power. The serpent's eyes glinted with a knowing look, as if it held secrets of the universe within its gaze. It moved with a grace that was both mesmerizing and unsettling, drawing Eve's attention completely. "Did God really say you must not eat from any tree in the garden?" it hissed. The question hung in the air, laden with insinuation and doubt. The serpent's voice was almost musical, each word carefully chosen to weave a web of curiosity and temptation around Eve. Eve, taken aback by the serpent's audacity, replied, "We may eat from the fruit of any tree except for the tree in the middle of the garden." Her voice wavered slightly, betraying her uncertainty. She had never questioned the command before, but the serpent's words planted a seed of doubt in her mind. God has forbidden us to eat from it, or even touch it. If we do, we will die. Eve's eyes flickered towards the tree, its fruit looking more enticing than ever. The forbidden tree stood tall and imposing, its branches heavy with the promise of knowledge and power. "You will not certainly die," the serpent countered. Its voice was firm, almost reassuring, as if it were offering a gift rather than a temptation. The serpent coiled around the tree, its presence both alluring and dangerous. For God knows that when you eat from it, your eyes will be opened, and you will be like God, knowing good and evil. The serpent's words resonated deeply within Eve, stirring a longing she had never felt before. She listened intently, her mind racing with the possibilities that the serpent's promise held. The idea of becoming like God, of knowing good and evil, was both thrilling and terrifying. Section 8. A choice to make. In the heart of Eden, a moment of profound significance was unfolding. The air was thick with anticipation, and the very essence of the garden seemed to hold its breath. The serpent's words struck a chord deep within Eve. His voice was smooth, almost hypnotic, weaving a tapestry of temptation and curiosity. The fruit, once forbidden, now seemed desirable. It glistened in the dappled sunlight, each droplet of dew reflecting the promise of forbidden knowledge. To possess the knowledge of God, to see the world through divine eyes, was a temptation that gnawed at her very soul. To understand the complexities of good and evil, to unravel the mysteries of existence, was a temptation too great to resist. Her mind raced with the possibilities, each thought more tantalizing than the last. She hesitated, her heart pounding in her chest. The weight of her decision bore down on her, a heavy mantle of responsibility and desire. She plucked a fruit from the tree and took a bite. The world shifted. The taste was unlike anything she had ever experienced, a blend of sweetness and revelation. The once vibrant colors of Eden seemed to dim. The lush greens and brilliant hues faded, replaced by a muted palette that mirrored the gravity of her choice. A cold wind rustled the leaves, a stark contrast to the warm, gentle breezes that had once caressed the garden. And for the first time, Eve felt a chill run down her spine. She had disobeyed. The warmth of innocence was replaced by the cold reality of her actions. She had chosen knowledge over innocence, curiosity over contentment. The weight of her decision settled heavily on her shoulders. She offered the fruit to Adam, and he too partook, sealing their fate and forever altering the course of human history. The bond they shared was now intertwined with the consequences of their choice. Together they tasted the fruit, and together they faced the repercussions. Their unity was now a shared burden, a collective awakening to the knowledge they had sought. The innocence of Eden was shattered, replaced by the bitter knowledge of good and evil. The paradise they had known was irrevocably changed. They looked at each other, regret and understanding in their eyes. The path they had chosen was fraught with challenges, but it was a path they would walk together, forever marked by the choice they had made.